Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Arizona Cardinals. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, Rosen. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. It's brought in by Dodson. Well, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, Michel. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Rosen off the play action. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A big play there. 42 yards. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Howard. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Looking to throw. Where? And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go!
Operating from the gun. Where? And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now a carry for Walton. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give. This is Michel. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. Gun!
3rd and long here for Rosen. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Cardinals. 41 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now the Purdue man. This is Akeem Hunt. Down right around the 25. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now Rosen steps away to his left, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Charles, that's an important 3rd down stop. You don't want to spot him 2 touchdowns here early.
You're trying to slow momentum down. You've already given up the score. They're coming right back at you. You're exactly right. Being able to hold them there and force a decision on 4th down, that's big for the defense. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Throwing on 1st down. Where? Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st down. Where gets hit and the ball is loose. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Detroit!
Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
3-19!
On 3rd down, Rosen. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing. It'll be 4th down. On 4th down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well and get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem. Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like...
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Gun!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go!
On 1st and 10. Ware. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he's got this down to the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Buda Baker.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Flex round! Flex round!
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
On 3rd down, Ware gets hit and the ball is loose. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Here's Ryan Allen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. This is Michel on the counter. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Detroit! Gun!
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Josh Lambo now for the point after. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. More from the desert after this.
Detroit! Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. To Michel on the dump off. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Now let's go.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Wide open receiver complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now it's Rosen. His throw incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. Man open left side. It's Williams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice game.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 24-yard attempt. And his kick is good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
To throw on second down. Where? It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Let's go!
To throw on third down. Where? Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Fielded at about the 28. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They have the lead here. Where we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And it's Michel once again. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Trying to pound it in here with Michel. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On 3rd down, it's Walton. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Mark Walton taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. Point after try forthcoming. No problem there on the extra point. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Ohio! Flex round!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ware. And his throw here's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So now it's Rosen looking. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can make a play on the football.
Here's Rosen to throw. Buying time to his left. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Again, it's Michel. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Cardinals on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Rosen on 1st down. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Elsewhere around the NFL, 3rd quarter now in Los Angeles. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Where? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun. Where? Eluding the pressure right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Gabriel. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Here's Ryan Allen now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
right, here we go. 319. 319. See what you got.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
On the handoff, it's Michelle. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless.
All right, here
I
we
am
go.
without speech.
Green 39. Green 39. 59.
On third down, that's Hunt. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Peterson. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Onto the field now come the Bears. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Flex round. Flex round.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he will have the 1st down here as he's up to the 15. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st down, Ware. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
On the ground, this is Michelle. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They're going to run this with a tight end. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be 3rd and 5. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. This from 25 yards out. And this one is right through. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run with Walton, and he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They go back to Walton. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Double tight. 3 down.
On 3rd down, that's Hunt, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Again, it's Howard. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
On third down, this is Howard. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So first and 10 now from the 30. A give to Howard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. They go counter with Howard. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be